Hello everybody, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. 491 solved now, nearing that halfway mark. Last time we did all of the boxy puzzles, every single one. And so now our options are non-boxy and still back to size separation, which has been an option for a long time, but I've kind of been going around this big, wide arcing left-hand side. And I'm going to continue to do so because this didn't unlock anything else for us here. I wonder how many of these three kind of sections we have to get to in order to make progress through here, but for now, non-boxy. No regions are rectangular. So that, and that. Simple. Oh gosh, okay. Just keep following around. What? Ah. We can do that with a Z piece in the middle. Oh gosh, okay. Let's start here. That looks good. How are we doing this bottom section? This has to come out to somewhere else, right? This has to come out to somewhere. But they can't be the same thing. That can't do that. What have I messed up around here? How on earth do I make this non-boxy on the right-hand side? This has to come out to here. Looking something like this. That can do that. How do we do these two? Let's start on the right-hand side. Actually, let's start with what we know must be true. That must come out to there. That must come out to there. That still works out for me. It's this side that is not working out for me. How do I get something non-boxy through this arch here? Like that. It wasn't so bad. How are you guys different? 5 and 6. That way. Non-boxy precision 3. So it's just going to be a lot of this, which means it's just an exercise in colouring. Not bad. And then this is going to open up all of this to us. Non-boxy. That's 5, 6, 7. Now we can't have any ones. Okay, restart me. This 3 has to go to there. That means that 4 has to come out to here, at least. Actually, it must be that. That's going to come out to this 7. That's going to come out to at least here. This 5 has to come to at least there. This is a much better into this puzzle, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then that's stuck at the end. What? How do we do this bottom line? How do we do this bottom line? Can't do that, must do that. You must reach up there, must come down there. You have to come out to here to there. You have to come out here to there, that to there, that to there. 5, 6, can't do that, must do that. This must come out to here. Put a box around it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put a box around it. That has to get to there. Oh. Those two 5s can be part of the same region. There's always a trick, isn't there? Right. 6 of 14, 6 of 21. Well, we should have a lot of these to just power through. 3 must take a corner. 4 can't reach that. So that's got to come out to here. 5 and 4. There's got to be a bunch of easier ones than that 3 first, don't there? Non-boxy areas. Easy. Easy. Right. That's got to be a line. It looks like it wants to just be this, but of course, we're not operating with boxes. Is it just going to be a bunch of T's? Going to be 4 T's in rotation. No. There's just this line to start off, those being different colours. This yellow can't go to that blue. Could go to this blue. That doesn't work out. I can't pass the wave of colours that are all so close together with nothing else to go on. I'm looking for something where, like, this yellow needs to get to a green, and does it have only one that it can reach, or similar? You know? But I don't think it does. I just don't see it, you know? There it is. I had to start thinking with Zs. Oh, goody. Close, but not quite. I feel like it's going to be something like that, though. That has to come out to there, that has to come out to there, that has to come out to there. That can come down. They can't be rectangular. How is that going to go? How do we make this top one not just a straight line? I guess if it picks up that, it's not a straight line anymore. There it is. Non-boxy polyominoes. That's fine. Oh, geez. All right, start with the free stuff. Put a box around it. This can't stop here because it has to not be boxy. This has to not be boxy. This goes up to there, that goes up to there. Can't be boxy, you can't be boxy, you can't be boxy. This could be chevron. Okay, this can't be boxy there. So this must take those. Means that comes to here, which means this is coming all the way out to there. That's coming out to here, that's coming out to there, that's coming out to here. You have to come out, you have to go around and not be boxy. You have to not be boxy. You have to not be boxy, you have to not be boxy, and you have to not be boxy. Be boxy. 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 2, 2. No regions are rectangular. So thinking about this guy, can't do that because we can't leave that there. Can't do that because it doesn't actually contain him. So it looks like it's going to be something like this. That's not a box because it's got a donut in it. We have to put this in without leaving a 1 square there. How would you fit? This one seems to be the only way for that to go. How do I fit you in here? Can't be this because it leaves the 1. Can't be that because it leaves that 1. Nice. Outside the box, restore the non-boxy window. That's a lot of parallel lines. Can't be this because that is a box. However, it could be that. This can't be this because it would leave that there. So that would mean that makes this, which makes one of those and one of those. I'm happy enough with that. Then if this does... Nice. Thought we were scuppered there for a moment. I'm gonna look at that later. 4, 4, 4, 3. But this could be that. But it must be done so in a way that leaves that not boxy. I think these two have to be part of a region, because if they weren't, we would have 4, 4, 4, and 4, which would leave 1 out, which would mean it is a square by the count. So these two have to be connected somehow. Not with that one. And you can't come down to there in a straight line. So that's got to come out of here. Which leaves that. Leaves that there, that as a T, that as a hook. And that T takes up the extra space. Good. I love it when things go to plan. If these are all parallel this way, then we end up with this box. So they can be parallel that way. But then that can't do that. So what does that mean? What does that mean? These either have to do this or this. Can't be this because it leaves some version of that on the opposing side. But if it's this, well, that can go up there. Okay, that's what I'm missing here. This can do that. That can do that, and that makes up the rest. Good. Non-boxy. Well, the 3s cannot be boxy. Neither can the 5s. This 3 could do that. But it could also... Oh, no, it must do that. Because it can't do that because that is a box. So that's 3. That's 3. That must come out to there. That must come out to there and go up. That must go up. If that goes across, it leaves that as a 4 shot. So that must go up. So this can go across. This needs to take up 4. 3. 3, 3, 5. Good. Anything hiding? Yeah, there's one there. One available to me there, in fact. But we'll carry on these 3s. Non-boxy Delta Gemini. Non-boxy Delta Gemini. Right, well, this has to do at least that. And this has to do at least that. This has to be the same as that, so it needs a 4 long line with one off of it, which would have to be that. That's never going to match that. That can not do that because then they wouldn't be the same. So this is a 5, this is a 5. I can't do anything with the short end of this because the short end of this is capped. So we just have to figure out how to do this in a non-boxy manner. There you go. Is this all those? Looks like it is. How about you? Oh. Non-boxy, all regions must have different shapes. So there's our 3. This can't be 2 T's. Therefore, it would have to be... not that. It can't be 2 T's, and it can't be an L and a straight. It can be an L and a zigzag. So this can't be an L. God, not having L available really stops a lot of potential options. I like those. This is 4 and 4, 5 and 5. This is 5 and 4. This is 5 and 5. But we can't use that again. That has to be different than this. That has to be the same as that. Could be that. And then it's just this one left on a 9. So a 4 and a 5. Not an L. That has to be different than that. That has to be the same as that. Can't be this. Non-boxy. That already exists. I wonder which one of these is otherwise wrong then. I'm going to suggest that it might be this one. Oh dear. How do I know which one is the most correct ones? That has to be different than that. I like this as a shape that we haven't used, but then we have used it up here. And then we're back to, it could be that and that, but we've used that shape already. I really don't know where I'm getting right or wrong amongst all of that, which is tough. We need 2 more to unlock more puzzles. Oh god. Is there more hiding? Because it feels like there's only a few left in that one mechanic, which is not my favorite. Right, you have to do that, which has to do this, which is then going to have to grow out of somewhere to not be boxy. You have to go up to there. I think this is going to have to take on this tile, because if that was there, this is boxy, and that can't do that. So this takes on that tile and that. Therefore, that line must exist there, and this absorbs this. Each region contains a single symbol. So that line must exist, and that must come out to there. That could be that, or that. Those have to be cut off from each other. These have to be cut off from each other. This can't go... it could... No, it can't go up, because then nothing can do that. So this is going to that side. Could go up to there. Don't know yet. This has a flat back, so it's going to have to take on that piece eventually. Oh, this guy is non-boxy, so has to come out, which leaves this coming out here, and has to be non-boxy and goes up. Put an edge around that. That means this has to go up to there, put a box around that. That means this has to go here to not be boxy. That has to go there to not be boxy. That goes up to there, that goes up to there. That means this is going to get... no, that one has a second line now, so that's going to go up to here. That has to go up to there and there to not be boxy. This can't take that. This is going to have to take that to not be boxy. That takes that to not be boxy. That goes there, that goes there. Not too much left. This needs 2 lines. This needs at least 1. Oh, they can't share a region. So that has to come over to not be boxy. Can't go up because that would leave this on that. So that does that. That comes up there. That does that. That goes to there. That comes down. Lovely. Right, so we've got these 5. This guy. That one in there that is baffling me. How many more? 1 more. We can do one of these for sure. Well, it's only Gemini's, which doesn't feel so bad. This has to come down to there and do that to not be boxy. Has to pick up that, otherwise it leaves a 1er. And then how are we going to get that to match this in shape? It's going to be something weird. It's like a strange key. But then that strange key shape would have to reach this as well. So, can't have a box, must come down. Can't have a box, must come down. Can't have a rectangle, must come across. This cannot go to there, gets a line. We now have a T-shape that will not fit in here. So we're going to have to take on some more territory. H's work. That to there. L. Not quite. So close, but not quite. That has to come out of there and get away, which should be a short L. There it is. It was just the extra swoosh over there. Non-boxy. 21 of 33 for Gilding, but now we have a bunch of other puzzles available to us. And there's stuff hiding around the back. A 7. Goodness me. It'd be really fun if you get to the very end of the game and then suddenly there's like 8s. Precision 5. Precision 5. Well, the first thing I'm looking at is these pairs of lines that must have something different on both sides of them. Obviously, could stop there, but... Okay, here's an easy start. Here, that must be 5 there and 5 there. So this must be 1, 2, 3, and it must be that, because otherwise... Oh, no, it could be that. But it must be this plus 1 more somewhere. 1, 2, 3, and something. This offers that. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a box. So this must offer that, which goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That must come to there. How big is this region? 14. It's interesting that you don't need the non-boxy rule if you have the precision 5 rule, because you can't have a box that's 5 big, which is a very strange way to present that. I guess it is technically part of the non-boxy zone, but it's also technically not a non-boxy puzzle. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is too long. So there's going to have to be a break in that to get around the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at minimum. Or it could be that, or it could be that. But it means that this must exist on this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is too long. So I think those have to at least exist, which means that can't be a row of 5. So that becomes a cross, that comes across. So there's some amount of continuation in there. That gets to be 5 here, which means that has to come out. Can't go... Oh, it could go both ways. Can't do that because you can't have a straight 5 here. It has to get through at least a bend. So that must be a C shape and do that, I think. Nice. Very good. Oh, God. Okay. All of these must go into the inner region, except they're not unique, so I have to rethink that, because this must definitely join up with one of those. This needs either this wall or that wall, so that must come into here. That's true of this one, true of this one. If that had that wall and that wall, that makes a oneer, which we can't have. So that must come out, that must come out, that must join those, and we're going to get some extra volume from here or here, perhaps. How do we do that together, though? That's thrown a minus spanner in the work. How do we do you? can't do that. I don't understand what these two are doing. You are going to get that wall or that wall and must come to here. You must come to there. You must come to there. You guys are all together. I don't know what this is doing. You're going to get that or that, but not both. You are going to pick up either his one of those. No, I think these two have to be together. What do you do? Without being a box. I can't get my brain into that right now. Counting, I think I can do. He thinks, therefore he's wrong. We can have non-marked regions, so this tile doesn't have to belong to this 5 or this 6. The total region is 36, 10, 20, 25, 31. So there are going to be some regions that are free of other markings. It's close, but I can't have that duo in the corner. Nobody puts duo in the corner. So where can we go with a logical start? The real question. There's also things that you can't do, but what are the things that you definitely can do? Not that, because that 6 can't get out to both of those. So that 6 must come down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't find the in to the logic. I am bemused. Who's got too much or too little? 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, 5. So we end up with a 2 and a 3, which we can't do because a 2 can't be a non-box. So does that mean we have to get 5 together at the end? Because we can't have a 1 and a 4. So there must be an area of 5 that we can draw that doesn't interact with any of the other numbers. That's what I'm looking for now. Unless 2 of the 5s are in the same region, and then that frees up a lot of other space. This is not looking good because that can't be a 1. And the 2 here is no good. How can I get this 5 out without leaving a 2 or a 3? It's no good. It's no use. 3 box. Easy. This. Or this. But not this. Neighboring regions must have different shapes. Okay, so that 3 is that then. This can't be a 2 because it's a box. It can't be a 3 because it's matching neighbor, so it must be a 4. That 4 must be a different shape then. It's this. How does that get out to be a 4 without being straight or a hook that makes a 1-er? Can't be a hook. Can't be a square. How do you get out? Can't do that. How does it get out? You can't be a box, you must be a hook. You can't be a hook that neighbors this hook, you must go that way. You can't be a 1, or a 2, or a 3 that matches a neighbor. You must be a 4, because you can't grow into a 5, that would be the wrong number. You can't be a hook. You can't be an S that makes a 1. You can't be this 4, because that neighbors a 4. But if you do this... Is there another 4 shape that I'm forgetting about? Think Tetris. Can't be a long straight line. Can't be a... no, can't be a T-piece, because that leaves a 1. Can't be a square, because that's a block. That can be a T-piece. There you go. That was the one I was not seeing. If this can't be a T-piece, that could be an L. That could be a Z. That could be a T. That could be a T, but that leaves a 1. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Unless that's going to be a 5. 4. 4. It's closer to something that looks right, but it's not. This has to get out. It can't be a T. It can't be a Z. It can't be an L. It can't be a straight. Therefore, it could be an L going that way, but it could also be bigger than that. Let's just check. This has to come out. How do I get the 1 to connect to the... area of void space in the center that I don't need. You must touch that. You must touch that. You can't be a T. You can't be a Z. Can't be that hook because that leaves that alone. So that must come up here. You could take this on. There it is. That was the one I think I stared at for a while and struggled with. Non-boxy, Solitude, area numbers. Where do we begin? Well, they have to be not together. It has to not be a box. So some version of this shape, I think, looks good to me. No rectangles. We can have the same shape touching each other, so we can have something like that. That 6 doesn't have enough room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That 5 doesn't have enough room. How do we get more room for a lot of this other stuff? This 5 must take at least this tile, if it's those. This 4 must take at least that tile, if it's that, but it can't just be that, because that would be a box. So this 4 must take either this and this, or this and this. It must take at least that one. This 3 then can either be that way, or that way, or that way, which is not super helpful. This 3 can't do that. Could hypothetically do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. Could hypothetically do that or that. Again, not the most helpful. Where are the logic nuggets? The 3s all have to be hooks. This doesn't have enough stuff in the south side of the puzzle because this 6 now, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, leaves this 4 unable to not make a block. So I need something kind of above this line to be lower than that line, I think. Oh, this 6 can't do that. And these 6s can't share a region. Oh. Damn it. So I need something to get this area more full so the 6 can go up. But it needs to be in a way that lets this 6 come down and enter somewhere else. That's an intriguing part of this problem. It just leaves that as a box. I need more stuff doing more down here. There it is. Good. Anything hiding in the other parts of this castle? These gaps? No, but we've got you up top. Oh, you're the 7. Yeah, we're not doing that right now. We've still got another 9 to do. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 available. Tell you what then, since we've been going nearly an hour, I think I'm going to cut that there and then we'll tackle a bunch of this stuff later on. I thought I was expecting to see loads of these ones over here, but apparently not. But that'll be a nice palette cleanser for next time. For now, thank you ever so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.